Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
What's cracking lacking, my fanwees?
Mafanwi.
My fanwee?
Welcome to the Welsh
nothing to say,
podcast. Oh my gosh. We're back. Another episode of Send It Mate podcast. I'm Caleb.
I'm Josh.
No, I'm Gouchy. It's good to be back.
Mafanways. What the hell, Josh?
My fanwee.
What have you been watching?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's just, you made it up on the spot, hey?
Oh,
No, to be fair, before we joined you in, he actually just said it randomly a couple of times. I'm like, what are we, Welsh tonight? What's going on?
I don't know where I heard it, man. My fanwee. And then it just sort of stuck.
Oh, actually,
It's a bit bougie.
do you know whose name is Mafanway?
Who?
Miff Warhurst. So
Fanwee.
Miff Warhurst off Triple J back in the day. Like when we were teenagers, she was a Triple J presenter. And then she's the chick on, what's that show on ABC? Spicks and Specs. She was on that.
Yeah,
for ages.
okay.
That's an obscure reference for someone like you, Josh, who doesn't watch ABC or listen to Triple J, but neither do I anymore.
Who listens to radio, mate?
Oh, it's all about the Spotify, mate.
It is. It's about the
is.
podcasts.
Spotify.
I've actually
Premium.
made this. I've actually made the switch from Spotify to YouTube Music because I'll pay one fee. I can't think of the word.
One prescription.
That's the one. My mind went blank. And I'll get video and music.
Sounds like OnlyFans.
But when you're driving, mate, you can't watch the video. That's
Oh, you can
that is
listen to the music.
irresponsible of you.
YouTube does the music side of it like the same as Spotify.
Without the video.
Yes.
You sure?
Yes. Technology, Josh.
Why it's called?
No,
it's why it's
why is it called
Music.
YouTube? Well,
There's
it's just silly.
YouTube Music.
Yeah.
There's YouTube Music. and then
Nah,
there's
stay in
YouTube,
your
and
lane.
it's linked.
All these companies just need to stay in their flaming lane. You do videos, do videos. Do it well, cool. You do podcasts, put us at number one. Sick.
Yeah, but have you heard of diversification, Josh?
Mate, don't try and... You're not a farmer, all right? You're not putting fingers in multiple pies. Well, I've seen your fingers. They can't even reach one pie.
Well, I do well in the one part. No. Look, if you own the lane, which YouTube own the space, let's be honest. Like,
Yeah.
all those other streaming video hosting platforms, realistically, YouTube is the owner of the lane. You can delve into another
Nah,
lane.
just stay in it. Stay in it. Actually, talking about big platforms. So the other day at work, I was sitting there asking for people's emails. And you know what's come back? ever since Internodes died or whatever it is, like
yeah.
they've gone bust. Guess what's come back?
What?
Yahoo!
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, people were they're giving out their Yahoo accounts. I'm like, oh, okay, good luck remembering that password.
I mean, you can generally get a gauge on someone's age if they have a Hotmail. And I've stayed true to the Hotmail. Like, I haven't gone to Outlook. I've still got a Hotmail, which still works on Outlook servers.
Yeah, because mate, that's all your porn subscription.
I'll switch from Hotmail to Gmail.
Hotmail. That's your throwaway email. That's not your professional hat. That's your. I'm going to give it to anyone.
It's amazing how many emails I have now because I've got.
Yeah.
You're the reason why we have your name
No,
29.
No. Not for nefarious purposes. So I run my OG Hotmail for like professional, like government, like emails to like
Government.
my gov or car registration or like official emails.
Yeah.
I've got that one. I've got like my very, very first Hotmail I ever created when I was a teenager, which is only used as the login for my YouTube because I didn't want to lose all my subscriptions and like algorithm for YouTube forever. Then I've got like a professional Gmail and a burner Gmail just to sign up to random shit. Yeah.
Do you ever log into that one and see all your like webcam?
Like in the junk
invites?
folder? My God. The junk folder is just terrible.
A plethora of sin.
Yeah, like Viagra, like all these stuff it's trying to get me to buy. I'm like, why?
Not really on his junk email. That's on his professional email.
That's his main account. Yeah.
Anyway, let's not call my professionalism my professional. Wow, as I can't speak, I can't even speak, I can't even say the word. It's dirty in my mouth. Professionalism. Oh, anyway, now that we've got the sillies there, how are you boys? Like, I think the last podcast we did was the 5 men in a room, which was fun. Just fun.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a while ago too.
It was. We certainly made no promises, as you mentioned earlier, Couchy, in our little private chat this season. And
Look, we'd like to, but Couch is going under the knife to transition to a woman, and Caleb
doesn't even have to change his name.
I was thinking that. I don't have to pay money to change my name. It's fine. It'll work both ways.
it's funny because my sister's name's Shannon.
Well, it will be your sister as well. once it's all finished. But how is that all going?
My name what?
You transition.
The transition's going quite well.
That was very, very, very seamless, man. That was just like
I had no idea what to say. Yeah, what were we talking about before that?
Oh, the nature of the podcast this season.
Yeah. It's been a struggle.
Busy lives.
Yeah, it's just more of a just meshing together for the three of us. I think it is harder because I'm not there as well. But
I mean, it's always been.
I was a glue between the friendship.
Oh, sad, man.
But now that I've gone, these guys just a struggle. So it makes everything a little bit harder. But we'll get there.
It's been hard.
We'll do what we can. So we might just have to skip the mid-year break because we just get it during the year.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. Pretty much, man. But well, it's
keep cracking on.
Good old life has a way of changing things.
It should be easier once we have a place to do the podcast and set up permanently again.
Yeah. Well, there's been
Yeah.
multiple factors. We haven't had a permanent location for it. We're jumping around the place. Then we're all in different states and traveling at various times. Shannon and I both travel a lot now, which is not ideal.
Yeah.
So you really do need to be pinned down with at least one or two of us in a studio. So studio with inverted commas, air quotes.
Fixed address.
Once I can build a shed.
For that short time we had a
do it.
dedicated studio. It was
It's
sick.
good. Yeah. You had motivation then to do it, to be honest, as well, because you're like, I don't have to spend an hour setting up and then packing up and look.
Pretty much. I do want an invite, an update from Daddy over there. How's fatherhood treating you?
Pretty easy, bro.
Is that button still
Because you're non-existent? Are you an absent father?
going? Is that button still working, Caleb? or-
Aren't all fathers?
The button's still working.
Hey, Daddy.
The Hey Daddy button is still there.
He's a
Yeah, how is it
sick.
going?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to be honest. She's great. She's a hoot. Hey, yeah, she eats. She sleeps. She takes a
Is
dump.
she sleeping all right? Like, does she? How long does she sleep for at night?
Nah, not really, man. She started doing this weird thing where it's a little more than when babies like fall off to sleep and then like wake themselves up and a bit startled. She will like wake herself up in a like rage of panic for an hour.
Sounds like a female.
Like startle herself awake.
Yeah, but it's like, you know how like babies when they're startled and like they're sleeping, they startle themselves and they wake up. How their arms just sort of go straight and their legs go straight, and then they sort of come to realise what's going on and it's okay. Well, there's like a massive carry on after it for like an hour of just screaming.
Is this because you don't soothe her?
Oh,
She's like, what are you doing?
It's not my job to, mate. Like, I'm the
She's
father.
trying to hold
so,
the pillow up.
I got to sleep. So, that's what men do.
Yeah, wow, because you're the best
Jeez.
sleeper around.
Yeah, or I'll rephrase that. I try to sleep.
Yeah, well, I can say that. My head is the pillow and I'm out.
That's a gift, man. That's a gift.
Mine's not far off.
Yeah, well, we've covered this multitudes of times. Your snoring, Shannon, is horrendous. And when we go out hunting, I sort of like, I always try and like talk myself to go to sleep before you. Because if I do, I'm good. If I don't, I'm not.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's pretty painful to listen to on the other end.
It's like two gay chickens going at it, man. That's what it sounds like. Nothing wrong with gay chickens.
I'm
Just try and picture that one for a second.
lesbian chickens? Or you mean gay roosters?
Yeah.
Well, a rooster's still a chicken, isn't it, man? Not a hen. Hen's
Actually,
still
is
a chicken.
rooster a chicken.
Well, technically.
No, it is.
sure.
A chicken is still a species. It's just a hen
Or a
or a
rooster.
rooster is its gender.
Yeah, I suppose. But what about dog? You got a bitch and what's a male dog? A dog.
Yes.
It's all confusing.
Same but different.
It's all confusing, isn't it?
It is. Makes it hard.
You're not genealogists here or animal people. Speaking of animals, have we done any hunting lately? What's going on?
No, we haven't actually.
I have.
Have you? No.
Well, no. You're in the land of the great red stag, so have you not
Yeah.
partaken?
The
yet?
royal red stag. Aristocrat.
I do need to venture down and actually do that because I don't know. It just seems like when I'm not away, if I'm away for the week, I'll come home and I'm like, fuck that. I'm just sort of taking it easy around home.
Oh, I'm here.
And then when I do have the weekend, like to do something, like it is good to get out and actually do something, or you want to do something like get stuff done here at home. So I just need to actually bite the bullet and do it. Actually, no, I took the 308 out and zeroed it. So that's a step.
Oh, hello. There's a start.
So yeah, that's something. That's something.
So what have you?
So-
have we unpacked that? What have you purchased? People out there in radio land, podcast land, Send It Mate, fan club
I
land. Don't know.
So for people that didn't know previously, I had a Howard 1500 with a KRG stock, and like, that was all right. But I'll try and group with the Howard, and it was just like it opens right up. But then I used either of your tickers, and I felt like I could group really well.
Hmm.
And it's just like, well, maybe something is going on with the gun. So I'm like, screw this. So I bit the bullet and got a Ticker T3X Strata. So that thing is actually not too bad. And I'm going to try and maintain it to be as light as I can. So not 100% sure what scope's going to stay on it, but yeah. it's one of those things where I generally get excited and try and chuck as much shit on a gun, and then I'm like, well, this is too heavy or it's not practical. So
That's funny actually, because the Howie you bought off of a mutual mate, he actually come in today, and I seen him today.
no, that's a different Hauer.
Oh, was
The
it?
Hauer 223 I got off the mutual mate,
Yeah.
but the Hauer 308 I got from Cleavers.
Oh,
He's
okay.
OG
Okay,
Hauer.
there you go. God,
The
I was
223
I was only going to segue into weight thing. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm building this backpack country sort of like gun. And I'm not looking at it, and he's trying to find a carbon fibre stock, something like. I look at it, and he's got an ATAC on it. I'm like, you've got like a 1.2 kilogram scope on it, mate. It's not light. It's not light at all.
Yeah, they're not the lightest scopes, are they?
Look, NX8's fine. You've what, 800 grams ish? I think 800 and something.
I was actually thinking about maybe going SHV.
Oh,
SHV is a good little scope.
PovPack.
Hey,
PovPack.
PovPack.
Yeah, no, go NX8, mate.
I don't know, because like I really have to look at the weights and sort of boil it down a bit. But I don't know. The SHVs have got some good magnification to them.
Look, they're okay.
They're not crazy, but they're going to be plenty. Like your red, Caleb. What did you shoot that on? 10 power?
Oh, actually, I shot it on
15?
about 22, even though I have 35 available.
Yeah, so it's not something that I feel like that I truly need to try and get up into the 30s or somewhere close to.
Run an LPVO.
If I can save a good percentage of weight on the scope and go SHV, then it's probably where I'll stick to, I reckon.
Why don't you run an LPVO in an NX8?
Nah.
I used one when I was out hunting a fortnight ago, and it was actually quite nice. It was very nice, to be honest.
It is, but aren't you the old, I'd rather have magnification? And
Oh, look,
man, like,
I won't be changing from an NX8 anytime soon. No. For a hunting rig, I think the best all rounder that's rugged, reliable, repeatable is the NX8. 100%. You have like a good amount of adjustment in it. The glass quality is outstanding, and the wall thickness of the scope is perfect for people that don't treat their gear kindly.
Like,
and if you wait,
I was thinking about the NX8 due to the fact that it's on my 223. And I love that scope. It's great. But the purpose of the two rifles is a little bit different. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, we'll see what happens. I might stick with an X8 and
don't rule out an
give it a look.
LPVO. Try it. Like it was good. The only thing is past 200 meters, you get a little bit of that blue dispersion because it's not parallaxed.
Yeah. Plus, you gotta consider what reticles are available in LPVOs.
Yeah, but they're good.
I probably won't.
They are. If you're going to be, no, I wouldn't get one for the sort of hunting you want to do.
No.
It's not unusable, but no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, but what's your terrain depicting you to do? Because I'm presuming it's not.
The terrain, I can shoot 600 easy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a sporadic bushland, really.
Okay.
The hilltops and stuff generally have the trees.
So you can sit in the tree lines and glass out onto grassy areas.
Correct.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then across valleys and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay.
The distance I could shoot is longer than I would want to.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
I'll be able to shoot 1,000 there, easy, just from one hill to the next.
Freaking hell.
And that's not even trying.
Oh, well,
So, there's definitely room.
there you go. NX8.
I'm not going
don't,
ATAC, though.
Don't compromise. Yeah, the ATAC's probably too heavy, but don't compromise.
Yeah.
Go the NX8. I actually used
We'll
a
see.
zero compromise on the weekend when I was away hunting as well. Man, that thing's a 36 mil tube. Hot damn! That thing was almost as good as Nightforce.
Yeah.
Almost. I was impressed.
Okay, fair enough.
Very.
But yeah, so once I get my ticker down pat, I'll probably got to get some more ammo and chuck some more rounds to it and get more comfortable with it.
I can.
But yeah, so
I can see how you got confused, Josh, about what how he was talking about because Couchy tries to use the same bolt for both of them.
Yeah, well, I've changed the gun up now, so the bolt shouldn't fit.
Shouldn't fit, yeah.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't.
Back on the OG
Bit of more
308
lube and
Howler,
jam it in.
though, what ammo did you try through it? Because I don't think you tried premium
PPU.
ammo through it. I know you ran PPU.
I tried the ADIs that we were shooting. That's what I was shooting with.
Mm.
And then I tried the which I tried again through the ticker, which was the whitetail normal whitetails.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think I tried another 2 other brands through that Howler as well. And then the ADIs worked quite well for considering. And I've done the 2 through this ticker, which is the Norma whitetails, and then the ADIs. I had 8 left, so I chucked them through, and I'll probably just stick with the ADIs because they work quite well.
I mean,
So
my 308, the ticker, I've run Winchester, ADI, and Hornady through it, and that's the order of how good they've been. Like, Hornady's been best, but ridiculously expensive. ADI was probably the sweet spot for price and performance, and then Winchester was okay, but I was still searching for that little bit better.
You can throw Winchester in the bin.
But yeah, essentially. My 223 Winchester was dog shit. And
Winchester's
ADIs
taken
are
sort of
great
a dive. Yeah.
it's a shame because price wise, you're like, fuck yeah, I can get around this, but just the performance has been terrible.
Mm.
But some people don't care. They're just like, I don't need to group.
But I do need to get probably another, I don't know, put at least another 50 to 100 through there before I take it through a hunt. Just to shoot it and fine tune it a bit more and spend a bit more time on it.
How many
before
have
I take
you
it
put
out.
through?
Total rounds, 28.
Yeah, so you're going to be speeding up when you hit that 100, 150 mark of rounds. You'll actually get an increase in velocity, point of impact shift. So
Yeah.
I'd probably be either hunting now with it or putting that 100, 150 through and finding that bed in process.
Yeah. It's I don't know, it's one of those things, eh? Like I probably should be shooting more with it before I take it hunting. It's been a while since I've actually shot properly, so yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Unless you have the range constantly, which you kind of have in a different capacity, but yeah, you go on a few hunting trips, you don't actually shoot anything. You don't actually shoot anything. Like,
Exactly.
There's no practice. Like the range is where you get your practice in, or at at your property.
Shooting targets, yeah.
Yeah, shooting targets. But yeah, man. I mean, you've had the most going on in terms of new toys. Got an FX as well now.
Yeah, oh yeah. I got the FX Impact. I wasn't sure if that was before or after the last potty. So that thing, it was, I guess it was pretty much as much as our ticker. But that thing's amazing. I love it. It's great. It's one of those things where I bought it and thinking it would be able to hook up to a normal air compressor and fill up the bottle. And then people that actually own FX, they're probably screaming right now going, no fucking way. So a normal compressor, like a large one that you generally see in like a, I don't know, an automotive, I guess, like a garage or whatever.
Yeah, like run a rattle gun or a air pump or whatever.
Its max pressure it can get up to is 10 bar. These bottles that come with the FX, they're 250 bar. So it's crazy to think how much pressure that actually holds. So I ended up having to order a pump that's just like a PCP pump. So they use for FX to paintball guns, stuff like that. This thing's only a small little unit. And yeah, it takes probably 5 minutes to pump up my air bottle, which is pretty good.
How many rounds you get out of a tank?
It really depends on how much you sort of charge because you got the main tank, which is at the fore end. And then you got like I'm going to call it a charge tank, which is pretty much under your cheek rest.
Mm-hmm.
And that charge tank is what is expended every bullet you fire. And then when you reload your next round, that'll be when it reloads the charge tank. So you can adjust that. So the charge tank will never be above what your main tank will be. Otherwise, it won't get any more than what the main tank is. So main tank starts at 250 bar. And online, I've sort of researched and people have thrown at about 140 bar for your charge tank. 140 to 160.
Okay.
Depends on your rounds that you're shooting as well. So if you got slugs or pellets and what weights. Or obviously FX come in multiple different calibers. So 17, 20 or 22 is the next one. No, 22, 25, 30, and then 40 cal.
Sounds about
Help me
right.
out, Josh. Yeah, all right.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so it's sort of there's 1,001 different options and adjustability to it. So it sort of really depends. But right now, I'm probably getting like 50
That's not bad.
50 rounds.
That's not bad.
I've got to do some tuning on it, but for just a little small game shooter and then just a target shooter as well, it's good fun.
Yeah. Bit of discreet fun around the house.
Yeah.
How loud is she?
It's actually not. It's like, yeah, it's not quiet. It's not like a firing pin. It's probably more like, I'm going to say 3/4 of a nail gun.
It's not too
Yeah, without the nail hitting the wood. Like most of that noise is actually the nail hitting the wood. But it's sort of, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example. I can't think of one. But it's
Like-
loud.
what, half as quiet as a spring air gun. We lost you.
Ooh,
Still there. Oh, trying to
it started.
internet issues.
Up
Connection to
Up your
Shannon.
game.
Come on, Queensland.
Dodo, up your game.
What's he doing? Trying to reconnect.
Was he trying to ring?
There we go.
Hey,
we
you're
go.
back. I don't know what happened there.
It's good. It's good.
We lost
Good.
you temporarily.
You guys froze. Yeah. One of us lost. I reckon it was you. But yeah, it's louder than a spring air rifle.
Oh, it's louder.
Yeah, but then it's one of those things where if you fine tune it and stuff like that, the sound will change depending on how well it's sort of harmonized, I guess.
Gotcha.
So I really sort of, it'd be nice to have a chronograph so I can get to the speed I need, but fine tune it to that speed so the actual rifle system's balanced.
Yep.
And you're not getting all your power out of just like the one sort of input. It's over the whole rifle.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain because I don't really know fully either, but it's one of those things I'm learning on the go, and YouTube is my friend.
I'm pretty keen to have a play actually.
Yeah.
With an FX. I had a look on their website actually today. I didn't realize their range was so extensive because all you hear about is the impact. But like, there's a sniper variant. There's like all the timber stock variants. There's a REM 700. There's a system that fits in any REM 700 action stock rather. So all the tank and everything fits in any REM 700 stock whatsoever. So you could just take it out, put it in anything.
Yeah.
It's pretty clever. Don't know how that one performs, but I didn't realize
done
they
well.
had as many models as they did, the old Swedish bastards.
It's yeah, they've done well with the customizable stocks and how you can sort of roll with them and just sort of change them up with whatever you want. So
That Mark III, you can do like dual tanks and ridiculous stuff.
yeah.
Actually.
So I'm not sure if I actually said it. I got the Mark I of the Impact, which I was lucky enough to get that at a good price secondhand. So yeah,
Nice, bro.
POV pack.
Yeah.
Where's your Impact, man?
Mate, I shoot real calibers. All right. No, these skirty No, I'm
And the
quite,
reason I
quite jelly. I'd love to get my hands on an impact and finger blast it.
there's some videos of boys like taking out rabbits and stuff at like 200-300 meters with an air rifle.
Have you seen the fellas
crazy.
from South Africa, my man? They're like pigeon hunting with an FX at 300. Like, I remember my little telly air rifle as a kid. I was lucky to get 3 feet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you hit a pigeon at 10 meters away and it bounces.
yeah, you got to shoot it 6 times.
You had to aim for the neck with a pigeon, or you can't chest shoot them. But yeah, so that's what I want to get to. But I need a chronograph and really need to tune it. And yeah,
Get the Garmin, bro. Man,
I'm not getting $1,000 chronograph.
no, just do it. Stop being a povass.
No.
I got the Magno Speed, but
Oh, send it up.
I basically get a what's it called?
I don't know. You're telling
When
the story.
it doesn't pick it up. It doesn't pick it up like probably
Error.
every 5 rounds.
Wait, what? Rough? What for? You throw away?
Anything. Like, it just won't. Oh, actually, so I was doing a load dev for the 223 the other week, and like for the first 20 rounds, it didn't pick up anything. What's that?
Yeah, that's fine. Just
Is it because are you using?
What?
sorry.
What are you giggling at?
I'm just giggling at you going, I'm doing a load dev. Like, we're going to have to get back to anyone who doesn't understand what you're saying.
Load development.
Load development.
Load dev.
We're doing a load dev.
Mate, get with it, all right?
I know what you're saying. There's others out there that will be like,
Mate,
what
time to go pro paintballers, all right?
There's probably people out there that don't know what load development is. So load dev is probably stretching it.
I'm just breaking
Well, they
it
do
down.
now.
I mean, it's
You weren't
reasonably
informative on
intuitive.
how you
It's
did it.
reasonably intuitive to what you were saying, but
So it was not picking up the 5 rounds.
Oh,
The
it
first
didn't pick
5.
up like the first 20, man. And then it finally started registering the rounds. But on average, yeah, probably 1 every 5 rounds it doesn't pick up.
What's this one?
Your speeds. It's a Magneto speed or whatever it is.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the typical A-frame shoot through the 2.
No, the
A-frame
one that
ones?
attaches to the barrel.
Oh, yeah, that one.
It's
Yep.
got like Harry Potter's wand on the end.
you're not really
Yeah.
selling it to me. $1,000 and it doesn't pick up everything.
No, the Garmin. That thing, like you could shoot 3 feet away from it and still pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing Josh has got is probably like $120.
I got you. I thought
Which is still, a lot of people use them, but I feel like it's operator error there. And I reckon you've done something wrong.
Sorry, man. Please enlighten me, SME.
Well,
enlighten me, man. Please.
I can't. Well,
We're going to have a 10-minute spiel about what SME is.
Speaking of load dev, like, could you send anything through a chronograph and it picks up?
It depends
The
on the speed. Depends on the speed.
Could you send other loads through it? Could we, like,
Depends
this
on
is where
speed
my
it's
mind goes.
shooting them out, man.
Could we have a shooting contest and see who shoots the fastest load through a chronograph?
Mate, yours has got to get past 1 mile an hour, all right?
Oh, shit.
And how far away is it set up? Is it 3 feet away? Anyway, sorry.
That reminds me of having like competitions at the urinal when you were a kid, seeing who can piss the highest. And now as an adult, you walk up to the piss and you're like, oh, who would piss up on the walls? But then you're like,
What a
if you
grind.
stop and think about it, you're like, yeah, that was me as a kid.
Yeah. Well, my first primary school, the toilets was like semi outdoors. There was no roof on it. It was just like you go behind a wall and there was a urinal.
That's behind the toilets, man.
Not like that. Like there was cubicles, but
There was some
The
budget
teacher
cuts.
takes you behind the toilet.
There was some budget cuts at the social housing.
yeah, no, just it was in Adelaide Hills Primary School. Anyway, the urinal, and I've been to public toilets like in my journeys where
Oh, really?
I've been in a lot of public. Oh no, there's no recovering from this.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right.
All right, I'm on the road a lot, so I've got to stop and take a piss. And quite often, if I'm in a town, I'll have to use like a public toilet. And there's actually more than I thought exist, where there's actually just walls and a urinal and no roof. Like it's weird, right? anyway, that was like the one at my first primary school. And the boys used to line up and try and piss over the wall. That was the competition, to try and get up past the urinal, up the brick wall, and then over the top of the wall.
Okay, that's
Bloody
pretty
hell.
impressive, to be honest.
Especially
anyone
as like
get
a
close?
5-6-year-old as well. Oh, look, we got
No
to
way.
got to like the top of the bricks, but I don't know how.
You just pee in your hand and then throw it over. Boom, you've won. You've won.
Why don't you just bring a bag of peas with you?
Lost about winning, all right?
Oh, I don't know about that, Jake.
You're not first if you're last, all right, Ricky Bobby?
1, 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. That's a song. I can't remember what that's. Oh, that's Nelly. It's Nelly, the rapper.
Oh, is he the dude that had the Band-Aid on his forehead?
Yeah,
Yeah, what an idiot.
or his cheek, or whatever it was.
What an idiot.
I'm pretty sure the song was number 1 or something like that.
That didn't take off, man. Let's face it, out of all the history's failed attempts at fashion, that was number 1, followed closely by grills.
I feel like girls are still a thing.
Nah. Maybe if you're an idiot.
Well, look at Post Malone.
Case in point.
You're not my boy Posty. No, I don't.
Settle down,
I
gangster.
don't rate. I actually like his country stuff better than his other shit.
You look good with jailhouse face tattoos, actually.
Oh,
Nice teardrop.
speaking of jailhouse tattoos, right? So I sold my car recently.
In a public toilet.
Yeah.
It was not a cock for cash arrangement, all right? Fucking settle down.
Caleb wanted $2,000 more. I was like, yeah, I can do that.
I'll lower the price. What can you do for me? Anyway, I sold my car. I listed it on Gumtree, on car sales, and Marketplace, of course. And I probably got equal amount of inquiries from all three, but the Marketplace ones are always the most interesting because you can stalk the person and see their profile and what they're all about. So this guy messages me and he goes, would you take X amount cash? Straight up. Guaranteed
How much
sale.
is it? How much less was this?
$2,000 less. $2,500 less than I'd advertise, right?
Okay. that's not
So
too
I
bad.
thought to myself, if I was desperate, potentially. So I said, nah, man, like I'd meet you in the middle, but I wouldn't take that unless I was desperate and it'd been advertised for a while and it wasn't selling. Then he offers like in between the two figures. It goes, guaranteed sale, man. If you drive it out here, I can't go anywhere other than work because I'm on home detention.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
But if you drive it out to me in Gawler, for anyone who knows Adelaide, Gawler,
So it's a half-hour drive.
guaranteed,
45.
guaranteed sale. Hadn't seen it, but if I bring it out to him, cash, instant sale, and
I can understand the circumstances.
away you go. Well, I understand the circumstance. You can't go anywhere other than work. But I'm not. My first thought is like, you're obviously getting to work. What do you need a full drive for? Like, you can't really get the full effect of it. You're on home D. How do you have that much in cash just sitting around? Anyway, I thought, whatever. So I go Facebook profile. Okay, here we go. Tattoos. Face tattoos. And I'm like, I'm going to be nice to this guy. Like, let him down gently. Because he's got my Facebook profile. But I was like, are you serious, man? Like, I said to Josh, I actually spoke to Josh. I'm like, if I do get desperate and I end up trying to go with this offer, you're coming with me, bro. Because I don't want to die.
Oh, dear. You'd probably need someone to go with you anyway, mate, because you're going to have no car to get home and probably no legs.
Yeah, but you're the choice other than his missus.
Yeah, pretty
Dude.
much.
That's, 100% he was going to try and flog that car.
Yeah, proceed with caution. I'm like, and as much as you never know. Like, he could be genuine. He could have sold a previous vehicle and have the cash sitting ready to go. You don't know. You don't want to judge, but
You judged, mate, at the side of that teardrop.
it's a bit more than a teardrop.
Oh, a bit more.
To be honest, it's probably a good time to
No
actually
regrets.
get. He just wanted to get a full drive and then kit it out over the next whatever, how long he's in Home D. Because he can't go out and full drive with it. So therefore, it's a good time to spec it up.
Yeah, but there's only so much you can spec a Triton up, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're polishing a turd.
Look, I was happy to get rid of it, put it that way. But mechanically, it hadn't let me down. So, whatever.
That's what I said about the Nissan until it did.
It's good until it's not.
Yeah.
But no, I'm happy to be parted with it. So
Yeah.
we move on. Well, what do you reckon? Should we get into what we decided was going to be the topic for this episode? We've rambled for the best part of 40 minutes. Just a bit of a catch up for us and the listeners, I guess. So hope you enjoyed that little first segment. Let's get into the topic, which again is going to be tinfoil hats, which we I wish
This is why we need
I
to
wish
record.
we were visiting. Well, I wish we were videoing this because Shannon has actually just put on a tinfoil hat, and his video is now frozen. you gotta take a video of this, Josh, because this is terrible.
I got a photo of it.
I could do the same, but my phone is currently the hotspot to. What an idiot! All right.
It's not frozen either. He's just like that. He's just
Well, this is a conspiracy. Is internet real? Like, what is going on?
5Gs, bruh.
5G is terrible. I would take 4G. I would take full bars of 4G. No internet connection at all.
Has it tried to connect to something?
I don't know. Well, let's pause the audio at this point and resume once we're all good. Anyway, we're now back recording after that brief intermission. And I reckon you caused that because you put a tinfoil hat on.
It was just a refraction from the head.
Yeah, somehow you affected Australia's internet by putting a tinfoil hat on.
The 5Gs, bruh.
It actually works quite well with the headset because I can just wrap it around the back of the headset and it just sticks on the head. It's good.
You know, I like
But I
this.
thought I'd dress to the occasion.
This is the first time I've seen you be a little silly in a long time. Normally you're
A
like
bit of fun with it.
Mr. Serious and yeah. No,
Like,
it's
shut
good.
up, Josh. All right.
I like it. I took a photo of it and it is going on the internet.
Oh, that's fine.
It is nice
I
of you
was
to dress
going
up.
to take a screen capture of it, chuck it up on the socials. So,
Well done. Well done. Well, because you're so into
Well-
it, do you want to kick away with... I don't know if I even
Not
got
really.
through saying what we were doing, but we did an episode last season. Last year, either way. And it was the tinfoil hat episode, and we got a few conspiracy theories in. So we're going to pick up again and attempt some more. And as you are tinfoil hat dressed up, go for it.
all right. Well, I haven't really got an exact topic. I guess I have a little bit.
I mean, you do. It's a tinfoil
I'll-
hat.
Considering, I know. Considering I'm first up, so we'll sort of rehash through what we went through last episode because that was a while ago.
That's a probably good
So-
idea, so we don't recover.
Yeah.
We don't cover the same steps again.
So conspiracy was sort of hashed on, like Caleb brought it up and it was like, what do you think's true or what false or whatever? So we went through 9/11, the malaria in Texas, Princess Diana's killing or death, moon landing, if aliens exist or not, which is always a good one, Christianity, Josh's favorite, flat earthers, also Josh's favorite. That got into rotation of the Earth, and that's when we went into about shooting, JFK assassination, good segue, Joe Biden, Port Arthur shooting, and then we stemmed into my assassination. Not that you probably remember that if you hadn't listened to it.
Your assassination?
Yeah, go back and listen to the end of that one. I was warning everyone that if you don't hear from me, I didn't assassinate myself. Because I couldn't trust you, Caleb.
I don't remember that.
And then, Josh was going to come up with a new catchphrase at the end of that episode, actually. He did mention that Katya was getting old, and so he's got to the end of this episode to work out what the hell he's going to be saying
Bougie.
because you wouldn't have done anything. No, don't make it up. Come up with something good.
Sorry.
But yeah,
He's currently switching the cord out from my phone to his friggin' device, which needs charging.
Hasn't even been.
he's got two of them. Why does he need
My
to charge
God,
them?
what are you doing? The professionalism
That's
in
called
this room
Central by
is
the
just
looks of it.
spiraled to zero. Anyway, this is what happens when we don't podcast every week. We become rank amateurs.
We do, and it's going to continue.
It's kind of fun. This is like season one with better microphones.
To be honest, man, I have seen a few new podcasts kicking around, and they've taken, I don't know, some structure from ours, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do.
Oh, really?
I do.
Who?
Oh,
Name and shame.
No, we won't name and shame on the podcast. We're
Nah,
all,
name them.
all about mates, but I'll send you the link
Thank you.
on
Okay.
Instagram.
Not that we're following a particular structure, but we used to have a very defined structure
Yeah.
that we used to deviate from. But there was
Until
still a
last
structure to come back to.
I think I ruined that.
You did. You
I think we lasted about a season, and then we just skewed off.
whatever. Let's
But-
just keep freeballing it.
Like,
That's a
I was like,
conspiracy.
I was wondering about what
He's
I'll
actually
do.
working for the government. Sorry, Shannon. but-
There's a conspiracy. Shannon is the mole, the Centermate mole.
Yes.
Sorry, mate. Continue.
No, that's all right. I was wondering about what to do because I'm like, oh, we did cover a lot of conspiracy theories through that list.
Yep.
And then I'm like, oh, I listened to a couple of podcasts, and then actually this guy went through and he's like, oh, so there's which I didn't really think about beforehand, but there's a difference between conspiracy and conspiracy theory. So pretty much my take from it, all conspiracies are actually true because a conspiracy is, in his perspective, two or more people uprising against the government or people for their personal gain. What's up? What are you doing? What's going on here?
I don't know if anyone heard that, but Josh just gargled his drink.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought that was you that made a noise.
No.
Okay.
Josh
Okay.
is trying a new
Fucking
drink, so
Caleb
he's
was
like,
being very rude.
he's swishing it around and then he's gargled it.
All right. So
Sorry, that's
really-
very rude of us, Shannon.
I blame,
we have gone
I
back to
blame
season
Caleb.
2.
All
But yeah, so he
conspiracies
did
are true.
touch it. Hey, yeah. So he did touch on the conspiracies, and then a conspiracy theory is someone that believes something or something thinks that it's true, but it's just their touch on how they think it happens or why it happened.
Perception.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, so then I kept coming back to flat Earth and the flat Earth theory because I come across the Facebook page for one, and that's pretty funny to scroll through and read the comments. But yeah, I'm gonna say flat Earth is probably my conspiracy. I haven't really got a whole lot on it though, which is going to be really bad on my occasion. I was hoping you guys would just prop me up here.
Look, it's a load of baloney. Throw it in the bin and get yourself a new hobby. All right?
But why?
Because we got planes, bro.
Yeah, but
Flat planes?
Flat planes.
You're talking about planes as in geometry? You're talking about planes as in aircraft?
Oh, happy coincidence.
Oh,
Ooh.
enlighten me.
Oh, both.
As he leans on the microphone.
what's going on? I missed something here. But
I don't know. Josh has got some knowledge. Bring it.
No, well, we've obviously been at least to the outer atmosphere. I don't believe we've been to the moon, but hey. From there, you get a bird's eye view of our big old rock. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And you can also go round that big old rock. So one means you could map maybe what it looks like.
So we could ignore planes and just say satellite images of the Earth. It's a round object.
Well, you can,
But-
you could
But
map
see,
it with a satellite.
How
yeah.
deep do you want to get with the conspiracy? Are satellites real?
But they claim
Are
that
they real
it's
images?
fisheye lenses that create the curvature, and NASA's all about creating the actual conspiracy
Surely.
and trying to maintain everyone thinking that it's a globe. So therefore, different countries traject their missiles as a globe rather than a flat Earth, and therefore they hit.
I think if you've got the technology to build and fire and hit a target missile defense.
Yeah. No,
Like you can
like, it's
understand
a lot of
it.
those things.
You can understand the world and whether it's flat or not.
I think it's easier to believe the Earth's round than it is flat. Like,
Well, that's what you
well,
taught.
where's the edge? Like, if something's flat, when does it end? Like, there's got to be a drop off at some point. Like, you can't just keep traveling in one direction, and you're going to come back around to the same spot.
Yeah, but their argument for that is, oh, have you ever been there
No,
to the
that-
edge? Like,
The argument is actually so Antarctica is an ice wall that gets up into like the ice, right? But the government stops you actually crossing Antarctica, and no one's actually allowed to actually go on Antarctica unless they're allowed to. They got to have a specific permission to actually work on the ice. Otherwise, it's an ice wall that you're not allowed to. It's no fly, no nothing. So they claim that ice wall circumference is around the whole of the flat Earth, and that protects the edge. And that's why you're not allowed to go past the actual.
yeah, but we have a North Pole and a South Pole, and we have a
Yeah, no,
north
but the north
body
is in, the north is in the center, man.
yeah, but
And on-
how do you get magnetic variation and things then?
Man, look, this is flat earthers arguments. I'm just
I don't
trying to
know,
enlighten
but
you on their arguments.
Don't go on the other side of the wall of ice because there's White Walkers over there.
There is.
Winter's coming.
Yeah.
Winter is coming.
Saddam Hussein's not really dead. He was just turned
Turned.
into a White Walker.
Oh.
Far out.
Hey, the tinfoil hat's off.
Look,
I'm gonna put it back.
It's a shame we're not videoing this because I'd love to just have you just as a head, no body, just talking, like floating in space, just your head with your tinfoil hat on. Could you put a filter
Thank you.
on with just your face? Because it just talking about conspiracies
and a filter for you.
just seems right as a floating head with with a tinfoil hat on.
I can't put a filter to remove my body, but
He can find one to fix his face.
I can. Snapchat's got plenty of those.
Yeah, just ask any female out there. Fucking hell.
Yeah, exactly.
It's getting to the point
There's,
where
there's another conspiracy,
What?
Snapchat, and the size of his appendix.
Yeah, there's a fisheye lens for Snapchat.
it looks round, but it's actually flat.
It's like a gummy.
There probably is a Snapchat filter for that, dedicated for that.
The,
It wouldn't surprise me.
dick pic extender.
Dick enlarger. Yeah, just the dick stretcher.
That's
3000.
horrendous.
I tell you what though, like AI is like and imagery is getting pretty scary at the moment. It's getting better and better slowly. Like, and I've used it a fair bit now to just like create images or
What do you mean create images? You use it to do your work every week.
I put your head on male bodies in porn scenarios and fap off to it all the time. No, like
It's getting really good. And that's the free version.
It is.
Not the paid version.
correct. Yeah. It's pretty
I would
much.
like to pay for it and actually see the jump it has.
See, I wonder if this is where, like, this whole one world government
Hello.
and prophecies and things end,
We're
end up
progressing, it's
going to. No, like, imagine, like, they're trying to create a one world government. You've got these nefarious companies like, that Klaus Schwab's clown that he's like leader of
the
and all rest of it.
corporations that run the world.
Anyway, imagine if AI recognizes it, learns from it, and goes, okay, well, they're on the right track to be able to control the population, and they have some good ideas, but they're just not executing them correctly. And then AI fakes being them, and then that ends up being what the governing body is the AI.
Ooh.
I just created a plot for a movie. That's sick.
No, you've watched The Travelers. That's what you've done.
Terminator, Travelers.
Yeah, The Travelers. That's, you know how I told you the Travelers TV series? It's pretty much the future. The society sort of pretty much works himself to annihilation, really. And the AI bot sends travelers back to 2021 from 2080 or whatever, or 2280 or something like that. and trying to change past events to change the future, which is their present,
Yeah, but time
to
travel's
save
not real.
civilization. Hey,
But time travel's not real. It's that's a
yeah, no, but
fallacy.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But it's ruled by the AI.
So,
I didn't get to that point, did I? There's an AI computer that actually controlled that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I missed the punchline. But the funny thing about the one world government is, as I was looking through conspiracies, there was actually a conspiracy about The Voice being NATO's entry into Australia to take over Australian government.
As in the voice, the recently voted on thing.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, not the
Well-
TV show.
Well,
Yeah, I was going to say.
it's voted on, but it doesn't really matter what the people say because, like here in SA, they just
They're still doing a
do it
state-based one.
anyway.
Yeah, that's
Like,
ridiculous.
yeah.
So what was the point in voting in that referendum? That's
Exactly.
pointless.
It was pointless.
It does show how little of a say the general population has over their own nation, to be honest.
Yeah, because if the
And-
vote doesn't go their way, they just
Do it anyway.
allow the public to do that regardless.
Yeah. It's
If it's going to meet their agendas, then they'll allow it to happen by law or just by action.
They'd just reskin it and try again.
and
Mhm.
like personally, I think that there's more. There's more to it than what you're saying. I mean, when you look at like the UN and things trying to take over nations and all the rest of it, well, they do, and they highly influence people in power in those nations. And then if they get booted, they just give them a seat at the table. I mean, we can look at that Jacinta PM of
Jacinda
New Zealand.
Ardern.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
where's she gone
she's gone straight to the round table, mate. She's got a pension,
Where-
$500,000 salary, UN. What? You'll see her at the back.
Really?
Oh, in the back. You'll see her next like UN summit or something that you see. You'll see her standing there in the background. You'll be like, oh, look at that.
Josh told me that.
Something.
Is this a conspiracy theory?
No, she's there.
I'm going to have to Google this one.
Interesting.
She's there. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of my information comes from a mutual friend, and he's like tinfoil hat.
YouTube.
What? Real bad.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What's her last name?
Ardern, ARDERN.
CU. Oh, sorry.
Next Tuesday. Interesting. Oh, well.
Well, Google Dan Andrews as well.
What's he up to these days?
See where he's gone or where he's going. I don't know if it's made official yet, but there you go.
Do you think they position themselves with certain narratives because there is a carrot dangling? Like, regardless of what results they achieve
100%.
with a public vote, is there like a handshake agreement? All right, you try and get this in. If that doesn't work out, here's your next position. Do you reckon that happens?
Bro, they getting like that blank check put in front of them, and they're like, I'll do anything you say.
Are they selling their soul
100%, man.
to the devil?
I mean, look at Trudeau. 100% they're selling their soul. There's more, and they're just the people that get light shone on them. Imagine the people that don't. I mean, look at our own country and how China's influence on us. I mean, it's starting to change because we have people that are starting to wake up to it in Canberra. But for the most part of it, the narrative is, oh, let's align ourselves with who pays us the most.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Money talks.
Speaking of selling your soul, here's a conspiracy theory off the cuff. A popular one is that certain musicians or actors literally like sell their soul to the devil to achieve success. Do you think that's true? There's one that I did read this briefly the other day where a lot of famous people have been seen, and there's this lady who looks, for all intents and purposes, like a witch or like someone who's into the dark arts of some description.
Yeah.
And then people in the comments are like, she's literally a freaking hairstylist. She just looks like that. But a lot of people are like, oh, no, she's present with all these people who have sold their soul to the devil.
Just a warning. Don't you bastards say anything about Tay Tay, all right? Don't you dare. I know that that's where this will eventually go. She's a
I'll-
saint.
I will say all I want to say
She's a
about her
saint.
because she writes songs with the same 4 chords. They're the most boring friggin' songs.
Did she have a
She
soul
is
for
America's sweetheart.
starters?
She recycles the same 4 chords over and over again, man.
Man, mate, don't fix what ain't broken. She's a billionaire.
Look, my missus is the swiftiest of Swifties.
Oh,
Like, okay, maybe she's not the most crazy, but she's full into it. And I have to listen to a lot of Taylor Swift by proxy, right? My God.
You get into it.
The songs, there's so many of them that absolutely build to nothing. It's the same chord progressions. It's all about the lyrics. That's what gets the chicks. It's the lyrics. It's the talking about the ex-boyfriends. It speaks to them, the lyrics. But the music
That's
is
what gets
fucking
most
terrible.
people.
bro, she's just capitalizing on idiots, mate.
Well, you call my missus an idiot.
Oh, for sure, folks.
I love her
No,
to death,
she's-
but I hate her
she's
taste in
singing-
music.
No, she's singing to the demographic that gets her where she is.
PMSing females.
And that's all you need to do.
Look, I don't believe that that's true. Having said that, I do believe there are evil artists out there. Look at I tend to go with what's being told about P. Diddy and all that. Have you read up any of
Who?
that? P. Diddy.
Oh, yeah, P.
like
Diddy.
touching
P. Diddy,
keys and,
yeah.
P. Diddy, Puff
yeah,
Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever else he's gone by.
all that. No, I kind of, look, from what's being told, I'd say that the evidence is overwhelming. But, hey, I don't know.
I would say there's been more selling your body to people of influence than there is selling your soul to the devil to achieve success.
Yeah, but what is sin, Caleb?
What?
What is sin? What is selling? What is
don't know,
giving your
Just
body
tell you.
over to somebody?
What is a woman?
Can I please have that in a sentence?
Well, I guess that depends on your moral compass about what a sin is or not. But yeah, there's probably a lot of people that
Possibly.
have achieved success.
Sexual immorality is a sin. Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
whether that's their choice or not. But there's people that have slept their way to the top in multiple industries.
Yeah, 100%.
So you're selling your soul in a way, if that's what you've done. If it's against your own will, then I guess you're a victim.
Of
Well, I
right.
don't guess you are a victim if it's against your will, but yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah, look, it all starts with that whisper and, the thought of success.
Come here, Josh.
Is it funny how, like,
Touch me.
as a guy, you got to get to the top. As a guy, you got to get to the top before you can sleep around. But as a female, you can sleep your way up to the top.
And then,
I don't want to go there because I don't want to be sexist.
at the end of the day, like, you'd hope anyone gets a job based on their own merits.
on their skills.
Okay.
It's not how the world works
Yeah, it's not.
because there's such things as nepotism and who you know, not what you know, and yeah,
How you
There's-
did it. And
yeah, well, exactly.
she went the double hand or the no hander.
Ideally,
You just got to be,
Round
you just
the
got to be
corner.
memorable. Round the corner.
ideally, people should be employed based on their aptitude for the tasks that the job involves.
Look, the world's cooked. Actually, I've been thinking about this today, and I don't know why. Like end times. Look, I just sort of sit there and I'm like, oh, are we there yet? Obviously, being a Christian, I believe in a certain, or in prophecies of the end times and things. But now, having said this, I'm like, are we there yet? That's the biggest question. Are we at that point, that tipping point? And I'm like, no, because there's still access to food and water. I think the end times are going to come when access to food and water is non-existent. Now,
That's generally
I'm
where
not,
people die.
I'm not trying to say that it's in the way that we perceive it. And a good movie that I base or have been sort of like thinking about this through is surprisingly Noah's Ark, or Noah, the movie with Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah,
Right. At the start, there's lawlessness and people are like just, committing
Running
all types of
rampant, yeah.
crime and like crazy. And that's because there's no food or no water around, and that's depicted in the movie. And I'm like, okay, so that's the level of chaos and worse that we'll get to. That'll be, as I think, the sign of, okay, that's it.
So
Yeah, it's the type
Intervention's
of chaos that steps us back in time into like the previous eras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, people still sitting there thinking about, their hardest choice during the day is what they're going to have for dinner, because there's a plethora of choice. You remove that ease of access to food, that's it. People will do anything.
Yeah.
And you've been hungry just like I have. Like, I mean, truly hungry. Like, you're overworked, you're sleep deprived, and you're hungry, like true hunger.
may have sucked a cog for a biscuit.
Like, well, that's the thing, man. Like,
only
when
sucked
you're
one?
really hungry, yeah, you think alcohol breaks down your inhibitions. When you're truly hungry, that's it. And when you're thirsty, that's it. Like, that's consumes your thought.
Can I pose this to you? You're saying this is an Australian in a Western country. If you're a starving Ethiopian or Kenyan or whatever, and you have no food and no
normal
water,
day.
and you've been brought up with the same theology as you, do you think it's end times?
Just move a bit more west, or maybe south, and or east.
because they ain't got no choice, bro. They got no water. They got no food. Is that
but
automatically?
They do.
can
They
move.
have limited options, but yeah, they
They
still
can move. They still, and look, this is a good argument for the most part of Africa. But the thing is there's a lot of aid that goes there, so there is still access, and a lot of that access is still free. They still have the rights to hunt. I mean, wild animals. Okay, yeah, maybe in Ethiopia they might not be in abundance, but in that continent, yeah, there's still a plethora of animals. I'm talking about, like, you haven't seen a deer for years and you're hunting every day for one. Every day, just for scarcity of food, natural food. I'm talking about that level of hunting. Like, the government shut the rest of it down because of social credit scoring or whatever. But then you can go out and you live outside the borders of the capitals and the cities, and like, huntable food is even scarce. Growing, like, the lack of water for growing bush tuck is scarce. The whole lot. I think that'll be the point where some eyes will be opened.
when Western countries go to shit as well.
Yeah. I mean,
If Western countries went to shit, like Africa would probably downfall quicker. But it's funny that you said about Africa, Caleb, because you see most people that do like a video, or you see whoever you can see that goes over to Africa, and they will say that it's funny how that they have the least amount of, I guess, comfort to their lives, but yet they seem like the happiest people.
Because it's simple, yeah.
So,
Well, I don't think we were meant to live. This is a part of our own demise. I think we weren't meant to live in this rat race. I think the most stress that we were supposed to sort of carry on our shoulders is like
will we
food.
die today?
No, just food, food and housing.
Food,
More.
water,
Yeah, well, I
shelter.
guess I think
Yeah,
Rogan went through
basics.
that. The fact of that we're so comfortable that we see the danger within than what's around us. So that's why there's so many mental health issues. But yeah, that's another. I feel like it's another rabbit hole. But
the village and the sense of community is an important thing.
100%.
But I don't think we're supposed to have it on the scale that we now have it thanks to the internet.
No
But it's
way.
it's very much a surface level. You can be connected to 1,000 people, but have very meaningless interactions with them.
Well,
I think it's much better to have
Well,
a
does that
core group.
perpetuate the bad ideology in the fact, and the mental health sickness in the fact that you're looking for everyone else's approval,
well, I
but
think it
not
does.
the approval of your immediate community?
I think it does. I think people think because they've got 5,000 friends on Facebook that they're doing well, but I don't think they're having meaningful interactions. I've always been the quality over quantity when it comes to mates and family and all that sort of stuff. I'd rather have a core group of people that I like the same things and enjoy their company versus hanging out and making small talk with a bunch of people. Like I'd rather get in deep with,
there's
us,
nothing
with the core
worse.
group. Yeah. So
There's nothing worse than
why you
like
have
being
no
out
friends.
somewhere where you don't want to be, and you sort of, you know, when you're going to roughly the time you're going to leave, and you're kind of watching the clock. You're like, I cannot fucking wait to leave. But
I used to hate it when I was married previously, and you know I'd have friends by extension of my ex, and I'd be like, oh, I don't like this person. They don't like the same things I do. I basically have to be in their presence against my will, and I'm just thinking the whole time about when I get home because I've just had enough.
That's because you were going to things like baby showers. Blokes aren't supposed to go to baby showers.
I agree with you there, man, 100%.
That's not a male thing.
But I'm like, they're your friends. They're not my friends. I don't like these people. So it's painful. They're just like a stat. Like, okay, well, you're an acquaintance. Cool.
So where do you think this started? Like the female getting the dominance in the household.
What?
When do you think it started from?
What?
didn't want to sound sexist at all, did you?
Have you shifted the goalpost in this conversation or what? My God, it's like we just went 90 degrees.
Josh
to the
materialized
right.
the goalpost to the other side.
My gosh.
He's like, oh, now they're both at that end.
What was your sub? Were you thinking that my ex wore the pants and then somehow that.
Clearly did.
I think we both tried to, and that's why it didn't last. Anyway.
I wonder if it was when voting became. I know you finished this.
Actually, no. Fuck. So someone.
Okay.
No. Someone said something very pertinent to this discussion the other day. I saw someone post something, and my missus brought it up with me because it was quite a surprising thing that someone she knew posted, and it was something like the world changed when women decided they needed to come first, or something like that. Something like that. Well, women decided they needed to orgasm, or something like that. That's the quote. I've got to Google it.
That's way off, but yeah.
No. Like that's when the world changed, when women decided that, because it's actually to procreate. This sounds very borderline sexist right now, but
I can see where you're going.
I'm
here.
saying this is what someone else posted to their Facebook.
Yeah, sure.
Because technically, to procreate and ensure
Sex
Yeah, they don't
ensure that our species
they don't need to.
continues, they don't actually need to. The man needs to. So that was why the quote was funny.
Yeah.
But
So
that's that.
You know,
You go
if
down
we-
a whole rabbit hole there. But anyway,
if we trace the lineage right back, like if say a piece of fruit is eaten, they're
Just-
told not to.
just fucked from week one, basically.
Oh dear. I think we just
Anyway.
I think we just figured out like humanity's issue.
Stuffed.
Oh dear, that's terrible.
So what did you guys come up with for this conspiracy? We'll just bring it back to on the track.
You want to go, Josh?
Who's
or you want
next?
Me to, you want me to pop
Oh
in?
look, I had a few, but nothing really great or new. Granted, I only gave it a lick of thought before the podcast.
Just while he's waiting for Caleb to rock up. He's like, oh shit, I better do that.
in the role of Ryan. for
Pretty
tonight.
much.
Throwback episode.
I did hear one sort of conspiracy that I thought was intriguing, and obviously it's stems from the US. It's one of their presidents. I can't remember his name, but he either had a stroke or something, and apparently his wife assumed the role of president, or at least behind the scenes, not the face, but she basically made all the decisions and everything for him, including this famous photo where they've moved his hand as he's signing this, I don't know, piece of legislation. But for the photo, they've moved his hand onto the pen as if he was signing
Wait.
it. But before that, the pen was in her hand.
That's a dead body.
No. He's alive. He's just not
okay.
compos mentis.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this. I until like googling it 5 minutes ago. I didn't know this.
You Googled
At
it
all.
during the podcast.
And apparently, there's some legitimacy to this because so it was denied up until her death. when she died, apparently it all came out, and we were like, yes, for 12 months she was basically assumed the role of president.
Nice.
I can't remember his name for the life of me. It was on YouTube.
Good on her.
You went in deep then.
Yeah.
So president of the US.
Yeah. But if that's very minor, right? And there's some fluidity to that. How much we don't know. Okay, cool. But it makes you think, well, what conspiracies are out there that are true? And if they are true, they're no longer a conspiracy. It's just fact.
All conspiracies are true. I just went through this.
Yeah, well, they're
Conspiracy
not.
theories.
They're not. The
Conspiracy
Russian sleep
theories.
experiment.
No. You're just misinterpreting what it is. It's not a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory may not be
yeah,
true, but
okay.
conspiracy is.
Okay, conspiracy.
It's a name. Yeah.
Okay, I'll get you.
So, yeah.
Loopholes, mate.
Interesting.
No, it's black and white.
Well,
Yeah.
you got to wonder what else has been faked. Like,
Well, Joe Biden's son, mate.
well, there's that. We talked about
Yeah.
JFK. We talked about the moon landing last time as well. Like, we all know how much of a powerful beast the media is and what governments want you to believe versus what actually went down. It's harder these
for more
days.
information. I'd love for more information to come out about the Epstein Island stuff, but that seems to be just shut down.
Of course, man, because there's still too many powerful people close to it that don't want all the details to get out.
But it'd be nice to be able to be a fly on the wall and just know the truth.
Could you imagine if you do, you would be the world's most wanted man. If you knew the truth about that,
You'd be a fly.
you would be dead. No, they would hunt that fly down, that individual fly. They'd hunt it down and they'd murder you 7 different ways at once, bro. And they would, it wouldn't be pretty. And then they'd still bury your body in a pile of shit and you'd never be found.
Yeah, but I'm a fly. That's where I want to be.
If you could find out the absolute truth on a historical event or just anything in general, what would you want to know? What would you want access to the absolute truth on?
Epstein's up there.
Of all of time, all of history, like what would you want the absolute truth on?
All right, so 3 come to mind. Epstein.
No. One. You got to get one.
So
None of
we're
your
narrowing the
loophole
field,
shit.
mate. We're narrowing the
Fuck off.
field, all right?
Don't move the goalposts.
I'm a critical thinker. So we got Epstein as one. We've got old mate, the guy that was just released. Far out. Just thinking of today.
WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
Oh, Julian Assange.
Yeah, Julian.
Yeah, that's the one.
Julian's the other. And I'd probably say the old spicy cough. Yeah.
I don't think you need to know the truth about that.
One
I think
world
we know
order.
it.
Right, we'll scratch that. One world order.
No. What, you got 4 now?
No, it's chuff. No, because one world order will explain the spicy
I'm
cough.
gonna have to do Area 51.
Oh.
Yeah.
Knowing the full truth about that, I feel like you'd know a lot of secrets.
But would you
about
be let down if it was like, no, it was a hoax, bro.
It's just a childcare facility.
It's just a hoax. Like,
It's where mothers go to just drop off their children and never come back.
would you be like gutted if it was like, because obviously a part of you is intrigued about it.
Why do you try and
hope it's
down
real.
talk all my options?
No, because look, if
No,
the
I
one
reckon
world
Area
order
51
wasn't
would have
true,
good
I'd,
shit.
I'd be let down a bit. I'd be like, oh, well, we're just all real smacked out in this world.
Interesting.
But Caleb, what would be the one choice you would make? The one choice.
I mean, if I had to pick one, it'd probably be dinosaurs, I reckon. Because as a kid, no, shut up. As a kid, I was obsessed with dinosaurs, right? And then, then obviously with my upbringing, same as Josh, you sort of early days it was like, nah, dinosaurs aren't real. That's all made up. And then sort of
that?
that was the theology being taught at the time was, nah, dinosaurs are essentially evil and they're not real.
I've never been told that.
Well, in the
no.
circles I was in, yes,
That's-
that's what was told.
See, I wasn't.
Yeah, but you were at homeschool, weren't you?
No, I'm talking from like a religious perspective. But again, that was
okay,
probably
that
tainted
explains
with
a lot.
someone's personal opinion.
So I read dinosaur. The word dinosaur wasn't made up until the 1800s. Before that, they were called dragons.
Well, this is what I mean. Like, I want to know definitively because they dig up skeletons and we see stuff in museums and whatever. And there's that boneyard in Alaska that guy's been on Rogan as well.
Mammoths
Like,
and stuff.
like, I want to know the absolute truth of, say, whatever time period back, depending on whether you believe in creation or evolution, to see what was actually roaming the earth. If these giant,
Your velociraptors aren't what you thought. They're just a giant
No,
chicken.
this reminds me of something. In I don't know where in America, this creek dried up, right? And then a massive movement of water through it and washed away the top 6 inches of this clay or whatever it was that exposed the rock bed underneath. And in this rock bed, it had prints of dinosaurs and like large-footed humans in the same area. Expected to be dating the same time, like maybe not the same minute, but the same era. And they were saying that it proves that humans and dinosaurs coexisted.
well, I want to see what that looked like, because it's all,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
it's all, artist renderings and CGI of what the dinosaur looked like based on the skeletons and, footprints and what their gait was and blah, 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 blah. But I want to know what that actually looked like.
Because how do you actually get a full image of how it actually looked visually?
It's a prediction.
Like skin
It's an assumption. Like they're basing
Yeah.
it on, all right, say they actually do, which I'm somewhat skeptical of. Say they actually do this archaeological dig. They pull up a full skeleton, right? And then they go, well, this is what it looked like based on its size and where it lived. And this is what its skin was like. Well, did it actually have feathers? Like,
Yeah.
I just want to
It
say,
makes sense.
Scales did it.
It actually makes sense that they didn't have feathers. Because obviously back in that time, supposed, it doesn't matter which way you go.
as we've established
Yeah, as we've established. No one knows what we're on about.
privately, it's okay.
So the greenhouse gases back in that time were like triple what it is now. And the oxygen levels are a lot higher as well. And that's everything were able to be survive at a bigger state. So trees, flora and fauna. So it'll make sense that you wouldn't need feathers because the surface temperature of the earth probably would have been a few degrees warmer.
Yeah, there's different environmental
It
conditions.
all.
literally goes against global warming right now. But yeah.
No, it does. It does. And that's the main aspect of global warming arguments is the world thrives. We've talked about it before. If it goes down another 0.3 like percentage or whatever it is per billionth or whatever, it's where plants start dying.
I think
greenhouse gases.
climate change is a crock of shit. I
Didn't-
reckon it's all just cyclical. I reckon
Isn't-
there'll probably be another ice age at some point. I reckon it just goes in cycles.
Isn't we like? Isn't there more greenery on the earth now? I remember reading
No
something
way.
about this. Like, and a good example is our foothills in Adelaide. When I was a kid, those foothills.
That's a perfect example for the
No. Well, they didn't have all the trees and things that they have on them now. It wasn't until Trees for Life became a thing.
It was a desert.
And no, it was just rolling bare hills, like fields. And then Trees for Life started planting like a couple million trees in the hills. And then suddenly there's all these like huge trees where there weren't any trees, 3-4 decades ago.
And I suppose you can count the amount of trees in One Tree Hill area, and you'd know your ratio of growth per trees.
Especially if there's only one tree.
Exactly.
Anyone listening to this is like, isn't the answer one?
It's a conspiracy, mate.
Talking about-
there's more than one.
Talking about the fossils, I've always wondered if, like, archaeologists, how, like, if you like rub a rock for a long period of time, it shapes it. I've always wondered if, as they're like excavating it, they're just shaping the bones into a shape, and just unintentionally.
Well,
They're rubbing with a brush, dude, not
Yeah,
with
but
a steel pipe.
but you rub a brush on something over time, it's still going to wear away.
Jesus.
well, this is the other thing, talking about carving things. The pyramids. I want to know how they were built. Like,
Oh, so
Ooh,
your
that'd
list.
be- See,
your list
I
is-
feel like no, but I feel like that'll be answered in Area 51.
Potentially, or was it just sheer human effort? There was something I vaguely recall recently about they use sound waves to be able to shape things.
I've heard that. And then the actual pyramid itself was like a amplifier.
It's all very interesting because there's a few things that tie together, like the God particle, air quotes. The closest thing they can, like the thing that holds all life together, basically, the closest thing they can sort of equate it to is sound. So
Is that the God particle where they collide to?
God particle is
together?
like just that final thing that they can't work out, like what actually keeps things
Dark
in
matter?
life.
Here's
here we
something
go.
for you, man. In
I'm
the
confused
beginning,
on God
Yeah,
particle.
I know exactly what you're going to say, and that's
in
what
the
I'm going
beginning,
to say.
yeah. What did God say?
Well, he spoke things into being.
He did. So that's
So wouldn't that make sense?
frequency, isn't it?
So if that's the narrative you want to go with, then that makes sense that something audible, audible, or sound is
Look at me go.
actually holding life together, keeping all those.
Well, there was a study
atoms.
actually. There was a study that it showed, like when you say, they measured the sound wave, either how your body reacts to that sound wave or the sound wave itself and the shape it creates with like fine particle sand on this piece of, for not knowing exactly what it was, call it a canvas. Canvas drum, like just say canvas drum, bit of sand over top, and you'd say like, I love you, and like just reassuring words and like words of good thought, I guess. And that would
positive affirmation.
positivity. You speak positivity to this sand on a drum, and it'll cause the membrane to vibrate, and it'll cause these sort of like good-looking shapes. But then you'd speak to it in the words of like evil, and it'll show these sort of real fucked up shapes. And they were saying that the actual frequencies of these words actually affect other people physically as well as
100%.
mentally.
Well-
And it changes the state of someone else.
I've heard a farmer doing that with his crops, like playing like nice classical music or something.
Grow.
No, it's worked. That was the thing.
Let it
yielded
grow.
A
Let it
larger
grow.
crop.
Yeah, they've done it with playing music to plants in general, but then there's also different ways
Yeah.
that people dress this up by saying, like manifesting or speaking stuff into being or
Well, words have power.
karma or whatever. Like,
But it shows the word and the frequency of that word would have power in itself, not the word itself and how we interpret that word, but the frequency of how we say it.
or even, people talking to themselves or shifting your focus to a positive aspect. Or you look at a lot of sports people, they'll actually say something out loud to themselves. Like you watch a lot of cricketers these days, you can actually see them saying, watch the ball. They're mouthing, watch the ball out loud to themselves.
Not really.
Yeah, because if you tell yourself to not do something, your body doesn't understand don't or do not. Your body will just do what you said. So if you say like for golf, for instance, you're like, don't hit it in the water. Don't hit it in the water. 90% of the time, you'll hit it in the water because your body just feels like it says, hit it in the water. Okay, done. And it does what you want. But if you tell yourself what to do, not what not to do, then most of the time it'll work out for you.
That reminds me of Carl Barron's comedy when he's talking about when his mum would tell him to do something and he'd remember the word like, take the plates to the kitchen, don't drop them. And she put the emphasis on drop them. And so he's walking, holding the plates, he's like, drop them. You focus on the negative, and then you just freak out about dropping them.
Exactly. Like your body doesn't understand the do nots and don'ts. It only understands the action rather than the warning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All
Okay.
right. Any others from Area 51?
any others like other than
Any
Area
other
51?
what?
Yeah.
I thought you meant if there was other areas of 51. I'm like, I don't know.
Are there 51 areas in Area 51?
Yeah.
Or is that just the 51st area? What's in the other areas? Are there 50 others?
Spiders. fossils.
Wait, how many states are there in America?
52.
Why is it Area 51?
Maybe there's only 51 states. And it's a
Someone Google it.
conspiracy.
Why is Area 51 called Area 51?
Exactly. Why? Because I'm like, oh, does that correspond to the states? But no. It'd be good if it was actually Area 53 because it's a 53rd state
Maybe it's
that
the
you can't actually go to.
51st area of 52. So there's
Yeah,
actually
maybe-
another 51 sites.
Couchy, can you please just Google why is Area 51 called Area 51? I can't do it.
it's fucking
The computer's too far away.
Yeah, I
The
can't do it
phone is
either.
being used as a mobile hotspot right now. It's a hot mess. I don't want to lose you again. Just Google why is Area
Well,
51.
literally, I said, why is Area 51? And then it suggested cold 51.
Well, exactly. It's a question that's burning on all of our lips.
All right. Well, you just fill in some time.
I think they make an ointment for that, bro. The burning on your lips.
Okay. Is you speaking from experience
No,
here?
Catchy said fill in the
Who have
time.
you been
So I'm
kissing?
filling in the time.
What have you been kissing
Well,
slash
hopefully
sucking?
not you. With your burning lips. Man, there's so much I want to know, but I don't know if I'm ready to know.
I think that's my top ones, though. Dinosaurs, pyramids, and 9/11, kind of. I want
they're
to know
bloody
what the
good
fuck
ones.
happened. I want to know what
Yeah.
the fuck happened with 9/11.
Yeah, well,
I would
plane
actually-
hit
no.
a building. So.
I would love to know the true intent of this one world order thing. Like if there was actually a legitimate thing from like NATO or the Rothschilds. That would be something that would be good to know. If there was actually some power they're trying to have the world as under their power.
I want to be able to ask AI what exactly happened on 9/11 and for it to be smart enough to not follow any like narrative that's being fed in it and actually give a true answer based on anything it can find from governments and or any other organization communicating with each other to say, hey, let's do this to create this / the terrorist. Like, I wish AI could pull in truly all the truth and then formulate a summary,
See, I don't think it will.
but it
because
can't. It can't now because it's only going to pull in like news articles and say, yeah, probably this is what happened.
Well, what it's programmed and what it can find on the web. And if it's not, if there's no access for it to search anything else, then it can't.
But if it could get that powerful that it could access records of,
But that's the thing.
Could it, though?
It dead set can't. It can't do anything other than what it's programmed to
of course,
do.
like it still has its limitations,
It does.
but it would be cool if it could
Look,
give you an absolute truth answer based
Yeah.
on the actual facts.
it'd be cool.
But
if
then
my
at that point,
shit
it's probably
tasted like
sentient and
orange
it's running the
sherbet.
world. It's probably
Yeah.
running the world.
Well, yeah.
All right, so the actual real answer is pretty boring.
Oh, come on.
So Area 51, no one actually knows really why Area 51 come about as the name 50 with the number 51. They reckon it was just the area coding of the system they used, and it was a 51 area or whatever. But the real name is actually officially called Homey Airport or Groom Lake. So there's really no
That's boring.
real. Yeah,
They
sort
just
of-
zhuzhed it up a little
interesting
bit. Like made it a
name.
bit spicy.
Yeah.
like
Made it
calling Area
bougie,
51.
mate.
They've inferred that there's 50 other areas of shit.
Right. What did you
USAF
eat
and
tonight?
CIA acquired the site in 1955, and it's pretty much used for open training range, is what is publicly
Sorry.
stated.
Did you have chorizo?
Yeah. I just kept
Sounds
talking.
like
What's up?
chorizo. It stinks, man.
Sorry. So, for context, Shannon and anyone else who's out there listening, I had this pork tonight, which was heavily herbed and garlicked. And as I sit here drinking alcohol, I just keep doing these insane garlic burps all over Josh.
It smells like chorizo, not garlic.
Well,
I don't know where you're getting your garlic from, bro.
it's
Chorizo?
actually herb and lemon pork. Lemon and herb pork. This is this whole salt and pepper and salt thing. It's
Some-
lemon and herb pork.
Something wrong with you, man. But it's
It contains garlic.
sorry, Shannon. Cut us
No, that's all right.
again.
I was done. So
Right, we got an answer.
yeah, it's not the first time we've talked over each other. It's all right. Won't be the last. But yeah, Area 51 is quite boring.
Super boring.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't think of another one that I actually really like to know apart from that World Order. So Not sure, Josh. That's all I got for now. Like, it'd be cool to be a fly on the wall for major decisions in why they choose something. So, like, for example, it would have been cool to be a fly on the wall for the Port Arthur sort of issues and issues kind of like that would sort of lead up like the 9/11 and stuff like that. So it'd be cool to sort of know the actual workings.
It would.
But I think that'll just make you want to hate life.
Yeah.
I think knowing would be a time where you actually didn't want to know after you knew.
Because if you knew and you publicised it, they'd be quick to label you a kook.
Because it'd suck if you found out that you're already in a socialist system, that you really don't have a choice, and you can't succeed in life, and there's certain people that are allowed to succeed.
I'm pretty sure with it.
Stuff like that. Imagine if you found that out, and you actually don't have an endless possibilities. You're really sort of confined into that box that they put you in.
Imagine having no freedom, like having the ability to smoke what you want taken away from you or own multiple firearms.
I think there's people that believe there's a ceiling anyway and they just give up and smoke cones all day.
Well, are they the smart ones, mate?
Potentially. Like, have they got life figured out?
Yeah.
You mean I can sit at home and punch cones all day and the government gives me money?
Yeah, they do nothing and they don't have to do anything and we pay them to do it.
Like, I saw some crackers the other day. I went to get lunch. And I thought, are they actually just happy? Like, is that simple life where they just get given money and then their hardest thing they have to do is just find their next hit of crack? Like, are they just happy? Because, like, these two were steaming down the road. He was wheeling the bike. He wasn't riding it. He was wheeling it. They were yelling at each other. She had no, like, self-consciousness. So she was quite overweight. And I don't think she was aware that her hoodie had ridden up just under her boobs. And, like, her entire stomach was just hanging out and she's walking along.
Yeah.
Like, they just had no
Confidence
sense of
levels are
self
high.
at all. Like, anyway, so they're steaming along. I'm like, cool. Whatever, noticed him, went into the shops, and of course, I'm standing there waiting for my dog roll at the bakery, and they come in. She goes right up to the counter. She's looking at a vanilla slice or something. She's like, "Oh, come, fucking look at this. It don't look good. I want one of these." And then he's like, "Nah, fucking come over here. You don't need one of those." So they've wheeled their bike into a shopping centre, by the way, at this point. He's then stashed the bike next to the trolleys. She's walked through those little, like, gates that open, and then he's gone to go through the gates, and he's, like, stepping towards them. The gates are not opening. She's already inside. She's yelling at the staff in this little food lane, like, "Oh, you can't fucking let him in. Let him in." It just became this thing where the entire shopping centre just stopped and watched these two. They're in their own little world. I go back to my car. I'm eating my lunch. They steam out. They've bought a 2-litre Coke and a 2-litre orange Cotties cordial. That's all they bought. And then they're just steaming back home again. I'm like, what a day. Like, that's probably their trip of the day. Like, they've got nothing else to do. I guess if you run out of crack, then you got to get a little bit creative. You got to work out how to
Find that deal.
steal it. Or
So in other words, they're watering down Coke to resell it to young kids as Kool-Aid or something.
but, like, are they happy?
Yeah, they probably are.
Have they
bro.
got it figured out? They're not, like, grinding away to make a living.
They probably are. And you're here trying to buy a Ferrari and work your guts out.
Oh, mate.
Actually, it's funny that you say something like that because, like, have you noticed what this is just a talking about a shopping centre.
Shopping centre.
So I've been noticing on Instagram there's this Aussie custard tart of Australia. Have you seen it?
No.
Like, full dudes are like rating custard tarts, man. Well, you got to check it out when you get home.
Wait,
Like,
is what rating?
rating, yeah.
yeah.
So they're actually quite comical. I didn't think I'd be into like
Is this what you do during the day, man?
watching another one, but no. When I was googling for conspiracy theories to get bell feeding,
Come on.
I was like, "This is great."
You said you didn't do a lick of research until
I'll tell you where you went wrong.
Yeah.
You were Googling on Instagram.
yeah.
No, you Google on Instagram. It's all connected to the same service, mate.
No, Instagram's connected to Facebook.
No, they're all going through the same place, and they're selling your datas and your gigabytes.
Here's one that grinds my gears. Like our generation say Google. Like if you want to search on the internet, you Google it.
Who the fuck are you saying?
The young ones these days like search it up. Like to my kids, I said, what are you talking about? Search it up.
That's not bougie.
Search it up. I hate it.
Search it up.
Search it up. It absolutely just makes me cringe.
No, then you respond with, yeah, I'll search it up on the line.
Oh, I mean,
I love the on the line term.
there's people these days. Well, you've fallen in with the corporation Google. You're mentioning a brand name every time you're talking about searching on the internet, but everyone, it's pretty widespread, really.
Oh, is that why it is to go against the mainstream?
Well, I don't know. This generation's weird. Like I would say
But DuckDuckGo.
they're soft. Right? I went to a gig last night, and aside from the fact that the second band, the guitarist, like collapsed on stage, found out today actually dislocated something, but the gig stopped at one point because, and it was the worst moment, right? So the lead singer of this band's getting into this like deep and meaningful with some background music about how his old man died of cancer and blah, 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 blah. Then all the next generation down from me who are in the mosh pit are like, stop, stop, stop. And they're all like pointing. And this dude's collapsed on the floor. And they're like, oh, like they stopped the whole show. Get security, get a medic. And then next thing I know, like his girlfriend has just picked this dude up and walked out. And all it was, he just had too much to drink and he got too hot and he collapsed. And I said to the guys with him, like, what is this generation? Are they soft as piss or what?
So what didn't pass out? He just collapsed.
Like he just like fell over for a bit and then they got up and he walked off and then he was fine. He had a glass of water. He just like...
So back in the day, they would have been trampled.
Well, back in the day, the show would have gone on. We wouldn't have stopped.
Yeah.
No security needed. And his girlfriend picked him up and walked him out. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, of course, I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt, but...
Needless to say, Caleb was at a Wiggles concert.
Exactly.
It was Jeff. It was Jeff.
Anyway.
The collapse.
Have you seen the new Wiggles? My God, even that shit's me.
I don't want to.
Like,
There's
they've
female
got,
now,
they've
isn't
got a black girl. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, but they've gone...
You started with that. Obviously, you're
I'd say
insinuating.
black.
Well, Emma Wiggles out. And they've now...
That was the
like,
first thing you thought of.
The new
And you
yellow
said it was
Wiggle.
shit, and that's the first topic you bring up is
Look.
a black woman. Caleb. I'm not going to let you just sidestep this one.
He's got his white privilege going
I
on.
don't mean it from
He
a
does.
racist point of view. Like, she's talented. She can sing and
You started
dance.
off with the racist part.
It was,
You
there was a-
started off with black.
there was a tone.
As long as she got the
Assumption.
gig. As long as she got the gig because she was the most talented one.
So because
Not
he
just
was
because-
enslaved
not just
for
be-
1,000 years.
Not just because she was black. Right.
I had a good joke the other day. I had a good joke actually today.
Come on.
So my humor's that dark that it starts picking cotton. Sorry, just throwing the joke there, but that was a good segue. It reminded me of it.
That sounds very hillbilly Queensland. Oh, my gosh.
It's hillbilly Instagram. That's what it was.
Anyway, my point.
Anyway, I gotta
Like,
quickly
there's a
cut to the
there's a new
toilet, so
purple one too,
maintain.
and they're all like TikTok, and they're trying to appeal to the kids and get people my age to want to get into the Wiggles again. It sucks. Okay, and on that note, we'll we'll move on.
Cashy's just left because
Cashy's
he's
just
like
left.
sick of your white privilege.
What was that signal he did when he walked out of the room? He did this weird salute. I don't know what that was about.
I think he was trying to point at something with all 5 fingers.
Potentially. But it was just weird because he mentioned my white privilege and then did this weird salute as he walked out of the room.
Oh, dear.
All good. I don't actually know how far away his pisser is from whatever room he's in. So it's who knows how long this is going to take, but it's good getting into a potty again, Josh. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right. You're not keen anymore.
I'm good. I'm good.
Sweet.
Just like to talk about wholesome things.
Wholesome things.
Yeah. I wonder if alien abductions are real. They're not. I know this from a faith-based stance, but like, imagine if they were, and you did get taken up, and they did anally probe you.
Would you enjoy it or not? That's the real question here.
Well, I feel like if you were that way inclined, yeah, sure. And how do you know? You about a man, or do you know that
Not while he was awake, anyway. Look, it'd be an interesting concept. Well, it is an interesting concept, but
what, having a man?
no, it'd be nice if it wasn't someone who's an absolute whack job, or it'd be like these people that have tell these stories about being abducted by aliens or seeing them. There's always just something that's not quite right about them.
There's a screw loose.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like the age-old thing of, I saw a ghost. Now, when we were all kids, we could have all sworn we seen a ghost. But then
I
when
am
you
yet
think
to see
back
one.
and you look back at it, you're like, nah, that was just piss and vinegar.
There's a cat running around with a sheet over it.
Yeah, it was either all explainable or it was just in your head and you were just trying to keep up with everyone else.
Your mind plays tricks on you. And it's interesting you say that, because this is actually a perfect segue into what I'm going to talk about tonight. Thanks, Josh. Unintentionally segueing me. Have you guys heard of a thing called the Mandela effect?
Yes.
Which is
I've heard of it.
So the Mandela effect in itself is not a conspiracy, but the explanations of them, there are conspiracies relating to the explanation around the Mandela effect. So for anyone who doesn't know, the Mandela effect is basically... What are you doing?
I'm grabbing up video.
Just you
I'm grabbing up video.
What
Because
happened
you're just
there?
holding the white page over your face. And all I can see is just A4 paper. So
Which
thanks
is
for that.
which is what I could do
Stop-
because we're not videoing.
Stop reading like you're 75-year-old and you have to have it up to your face. Just look at the paper and read.
All right, I'm just going to put the paper down. All right.
Do you need glasses?
No. Well, I need to get my eyes checked again.
Josh, where's your old glasses?
Basically,
Give it to
anyway, shut up. The Mandela effect is basically widespread remembering of something that's actually false. So the phrase the Mandela effect was first coined in 2009 by this lady called Fiona Broome, who is actually a paranormal consultant, right? So it's called the Mandela effect because there was widespread belief that Nelson Mandela actually died in the 80s, which is completely incorrect. He was released from prison in 1990 and he died in 2013. So because she coined it first, that's why it's called the Mandela effect. And there's actually a lot of different things that are misremembered by people, like in Star Wars, what is the one? Luke, I am your father, or something like that, whatever the line is.
Yeah.
What is the line? Yeah, Luke, I am your father. When actually he says, no, I am your father. So there's a lot of things like that, or like Pikachu's tail. There's a lot of people that remember it as being, is it all, well, I'll ask you two. Is there a black tip on the end of Pikachu's tail, or is it all yellow?
No, there's a stripe in the middle of his tail. Isn't there? That's not a black dot.
So Pikachu's tail is actually all yellow. There is no black on his tail, but he has a black tip on his ear. So there's a lot of things around logos or lines in movies that are
The stem of it starts black.
There's no. I said tip.
Yeah, I know, but then you said it's all yellow, but it's not. Where is it?
I couldn't give two
Have you
shits
guys
about
see the
Pikachu,
bottom
to
of his
be honest,
yellow?
so. I didn't do any extended
No.
research on Pikachu, but there's no black tip. Is basically a lot of people believe that his tail is black on the end. There's a lot of similar stuff like that. A lot of people think that the famous peanut butter in the US is called Jiffy. It's not. It's Jif. Or there's a famous painting of Henry VIII, and a lot of people remember that as him holding a turkey leg. There's no fucking turkey leg at all. A lot of stuff, basically a lot of stuff like that. There's another one is a lot of people believe that New Zealand is northeast of Australia. but it's actually
that's weird.
southeast. So it's basically it's this phenomenon where there's widespread misremembering of facts. So there's a couple of explanations for it. I mean, this started the phrase is coined in 2009, and
Is this a conspiracy though?
well, I'll get to that. I mean, my belief before I get to the conspiracy side of things is it's basically coincided with the internet age, where things get spread quicker and more widespread. So it's easy for misinformation to get spread. So I think that's why the phenomenon exists at its core. But then there are others out there who basically say, well, this is because of the multiverse. And there's actually alternative realities
I've seen videos of this.
all running at the same time. Or in effect, there's glitches in the matrix. So at any one time, something glitches and all of a sudden there is a black tip on Pikachu's tail, and then people remember that, and then it goes back to normal. So the conspiracy is, essentially that there is a multiverse and there are parallel universes all going at the same time. Or the other one is actually that there's time travelers who, because they are time traveling and fuck around with shit at various time periods, things change and people remember it differently. So that's the conspiracy side of things. Do you reckon, well, firstly, how do you reckon it's explained? And secondly, do you think there's multiple universes going on? Have we had previous lives? Is there like an alternative reality going at the same time?
Fucking how many options do you want to give us?
I'm asking you.
Previous lives is in reincarnation into another human body, and your soul lives on through another body. Same soul, different.
Maybe we'll
life.
disregard that. Maybe we'll just go, do you think there's parallel universes, like alternate realities?
I think a part of it's just the internet's quite young, and everyone's grasp on it. Like
I reckon they will. Go
Sorry.
on, Josh. Finish, Josh.
No,
No,
go on.
finish, Josh. No, you go.
No, just like when you.
I reckon. Sorry.
Man, this just got awkward. You go.
I keep cutting you off. You go.
Nah, you go.
Elders first.
Go on. I forgot what I was going to say.
All right.
This is the worst.
Sorry, guys. I reckon there actually is a parallel. I'm going to go as parallel theory, but it's different to what you're thinking. So, our minds, I believe, we see stuff, but we remember how we want it. We don't remember how it is. We remember what we want to believe. So, that is our parallel universe, is our thoughts in what it is and what it is.
Yes. So there's some scientific, people have tried to explain it scientifically outside of just being just the internet. So basically you perceive things differently based on your upbringing or your experiences in life. So you interpret, there's the interpretation of what's actually a fact, and then that affects your remembering of things down the track. So that's one scientific explanation, in just purely and just in your filters, I guess, that you're seeing things through based on your previous experiences. The other thing scientifically to explain it is a thing called confabulation, which is your brain fills in gaps that you're missing in your memories to make more sense of them. So it's not lying, but it's remembering details that never happened, essentially. So your
It's
brain,
the same as those words that are missing or misspelt, or you can jumble every middle letter, but the end two can be the correct positions, and you know what the word is.
it's like
Your brain just makes it up.
it's the gaps that your brain jumps, so it doesn't have to process so much information all at once. It sort of simplifies it
Yeah.
and bridges gaps, as Josh likes to say. But like, I don't think there's. I do wonder sometimes, but I actually don't think there's like this is a simulation or there's.
Simulation is a good conspiracy.
I mean, yeah,
Theory.
the simulation's a whole other rabbit hole. But yeah, sorry, that was the other one I didn't say. I was grasping for simulation, multiple realities all at once, or it's just the internet making information more widespread. And then, and as we see all the time, someone's got an opinion on something. This happened, and then a bunch of people spread that, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of people are remembering the wrong thing.
Yeah, but have you noticed online you can Google to fit your own sort of beliefs?
Well, yeah, if you try and look for positive reassurance or confirmation of your belief, you'll only see positive confirmation and you'll disregard the negative.
Yeah, see, a part of me thinks that the
Mentally.
algorithms, like, they know how you sort of think, and you Google search history or whatever. So when you Google something, the algorithm works out, oh, he's biased this way, so it spits it out that way.
100%.
And then it just, affirms you believing in that. Like,
Because you react to it, and that's you
The spicy
absorb
coughs.
that content, so that's what they want.
yeah. And the spicy coughs, like, case in point, like, if you were, like, pro or against it, not that I think anyone's pro spicy cough, but I mean, pro the
I think
narrative.
I think there's a few pharmaceutical companies out there that are pro spicy cough,
yeah,
just
that's
quietly.
true. But like pro like government narrative. Okay, well, chances are the algorithm's going to feed you that. If you're against it or you're open minded, chances are it knows that and it's going to give you a diluted version.
Speaking of the algorithms, I saw a video on socials. I haven't actually tested it yet, so anyone tested it, give it a crack. The missus, she sees this post. It was like the chick, her husband has been out golfing. It's been like 4 hours past when he said he's get home with no explanation, and she just posted half an hour increments and posted this video of just pretty much him belittling or, I don't know, talking down on her husband because he hadn't communicated. And she was seeing stuff backing her theory in the comments. It was all the comments saying based around, red flag and he should have communicated, stuff like that. But she sent that to her husband to check out, which was sitting next to her. And he opened the comments, and literally all the comments that he was seeing was backing the guy up. And it was saying that she's overreacting. And they were the comments that focused on his account, but on her account, it was backing up the female, which wouldn't be hard to actually do. But it's kind of funny. I never actually thought that that'd be a thing where I've got to test it. Sort of
Kind of
skew
makes
the comments.
Kind of makes sense, man, because it's essentially it's a sales platform. Google. So they're
What? They're on Facebook.
or Facebook. It's all a sales platform. Really, that's data for sale.
Yeah.
Back to the alternate realities or simulation or multiverse, whatever. The only other thing that leaves the door half ajar.
Your jaw's open.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's never half a jar.
It's full agape. The only other thing that sort of makes me half consider anything else is the fact that, and I've talked about this on the pod before, is I'll quite often have, it's like deja vu, but it's not, where I will have a very specific thing, whether it's a dream or a memory of a very random event, and then that event will occur. Might be a month, it might be 6 months, but and it's very specific. It's not like a general, I've got deja vu here. Like I've been at this cafe and someone's come in. Like it's super specific. Like I met a dude called Jeff who looked like this in this state with the sun, like with the weather like this. He said this exact thing.
That's probability.
And I kid you not, I'm like, this is so random and specific. There's no way I'm having deja vu, but I've been here before. I've seen this exact thing playing out before, and I know what's going to happen next.
That's probability, man.
And it's super random.
You're saying you're a fortune teller?
No, it's
But
probability.
it's not the sort of thing where
It's
I can go.
mathematics.
It's not the sort of thing where I can go, hey, in exactly 6 months' time, this guy's going to say this to me, and I write it down.
Give us an example of actually what happened. Not some guy on the beach.
It happens at random, and I never document it. But I'll have
Do
a
you remember
dream.
something?
I'll have a dream. Like I'll think about work, right? Quite often, it's in that context where I'll think about meeting a guy. Oh, jeez. In a public toilet.
I was about to go there.
Crikey.
On the road.
No, like think about meeting a customer and they have a very specific look and a name.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
You got a lot of customers, Caleb.
Like everything, right? Name, looks, location, weather, like color of a car. A random person enters the conversation and says a thing, and a yellow
the whole picture.
forklift drives past, right? A very clear memory, and then I won't even think about it again. And then that exact scenario will unfold like a month down the track
It's probability.
without me making it happen. Like it just unfolds. It's super weird, and
It's so weird that I feel like you're bullshitting, but then I don't think
but
you
I'm
feel
not.
like you're bullshitting.
I'm not though, because like I'm not trying to pretend I'm Nostradamus or I can see the future, but it's so specific and random that I'm like, this isn't just simple deja vu, because I know what that feels like.
Yeah, that's just like you get an intersection of a road. You're like, I feel like I've been here. And that's it.
Yeah, like this time of day, like when you'd like just
Yeah.
you're on autopilot on the way home, you're like, oh, here we go, like deja vu, or I've had this conversation before. Like,
and you
I'm
feel a
talking
car just go over something. You're like, oh, deja vu.
I'm talking like such specific details, but I'm like, well, how can I explain that? It's like
I feel like if
it's like
this is
deja
the
vu on
case, then
steroids.
I feel like you need to exercise this and try and improve it.
Maybe I should start writing down my dreams,
Yes. Document it.
document it. That's the only way I can.
No, that's probability.
How's it
like-
probability though?
It sounds like the sign of a devil, but I'll just beat Josh to it.
You've got some sin in your life you need to work out.
It'd be cool if you
On
could
my
document
words,
that. And
It's not a
actually-
bad thing.
I'm not going
Oh,
to cast the first stone.
settle down, you judging.
I'm not casting the first stone, bro.
Get that bloody log off your shoulder, my friend.
It's out of your eye, right? It's a plank.
you watch if he'll run off to his room and get his Hollywood.
I'm the one with the spec. You got the log.
Nah, you got the forest, mate.
What?
It's a quote from the Bible. It's all right, man.
Okay.
Yeah, don't.
I'm like, man, it sounds like you need a shave,
I'm
bro.
extremely paraphrasing. But don't worry about the speck in your eye when there's a speck in your neighbour's eye when there's a log on your own shoulder, sort of thing. So don't.
I think no, it's just probability, bro. That's all that is.
But it's so specific, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man.
And it sounds like it's multiple times, not just this like once off time it's happened.
Yeah, and it's not always like in work context either. It's like, something random like, oh, I've gone to watch a.
Dicks all
Like my
look the same, bro. All right.
What?
Dicks all look the same.
It all blends into
But it was black and it had a scar on it.
public toilets.
And one eye that breathes fire.
Anyway.
White hot fire. You're cooked.
Someone out there, like, because I don't think I'm crazy either. I just like, okay, cool, this happens. If anyone out there experiences the same thing, it's like deja vu, but it's on steroids and such specific things.
It'd be satisfying, wouldn't it?
Someone else.
Look, I'm sure we've all been there and had a moment in our life. It's like,
then,
those times when you come up with a concept, right? You're like, oh, wouldn't this? And in passing in your family meal, you got half your mouth full of steak, and you're like, oh, wouldn't it be good if someone invented this? And then, like 6 months later, and you get real specific in your conversation. 6 months later, it comes in. You're like,
But that's deja vu.
See,
is
you
it
need to
though?
play on this, Caleb, and be like, just say you dream about like you're talking to someone and then the car drives past and then this guy walks and trips. So you need to be like, you're talking to this guy and you're like, okay, this is the situation I'm in right now.
Mm.
Car drives past and you're like, look at this, and you click and point at the guy, and then that's when he trips.
I've literally done it, and I watch things play out, and I'm like, I don't actually know what's going to happen next, and like it happens. It's never so pivotal that I can influence anything. It's literally like me observing
Ooh.
something happen in real time.
I've got one for you, man.
What?
All men dream dreams. Prophecy. Have you ever thought about, mate, embracing your
Gift.
childhood beliefs and going down that avenue and giving it a chance to come?
That's why I'm
to
saying you should document
fruition.
it and at least try and exercise.
I should at least document it.
Look-
like I'm not going to like predict the lotto numbers or anything like that. I don't think that by any means.
Well, not without
But
exercising.
it's
it.
just
The
too-
Sky's the limit, bro.
It's too weird to not pay attention to. And I know that it's not just deja vu because it's so not general. It's so specific.
You need to let us know next time this does happen. I know it probably won't be till, whenever it happens, but
It's completely at random.
I want you to start diarying your dreams.
we
alright?
need a diary of his dreams and we need a body cam of his actual life.
And
Do
it,
you really
just
want
to-
that,
to
bro?
really-
Because there's a
to
lot
match
of
it up.
meeting dudes in public toilets.
oh my God.
No, but we allow him to turn it off, unlike our government.
It never happens in like, say, an activity that I do repetitively either. Don't go anywhere with that either. So, like, it might happen in like a work context. It might happen in a sport context. It might happen like in a random place or something I don't even
I think
know that's going to be coming up.
you're talking a lot probability, man. What?
Well, then surely it would happen to everyone way more.
No, I think it does happen. It's just the ability to notice
Acknowledge it.
it. Yeah.
Mm.
I doubt it, but yeah. I'm just curious.
Well, I'm sure you've had a dream and then like 8 months later it's happened and you sort of think back and you're like, oh, been here.
Dude, I've literally, speaking of dreams, so, I don't think I mentioned at the start of the podcast I was going to. So I stopped vaping on Monday morning. That was the last of my juice. So I
Thank
come off
gosh.
it. I'm like, yeah. So,
I think Josh could take a leaf.
which feels good. Feels good. Thanks, Queensland, for outlawing it.
He's
Helped
just
me.
changed one habit for chewing gum.
He's already breathing in enough moist
Dude.
air in Queensland as it is.
Fucking hell. Anyway, so dreaming, I haven't dreamt in. I can't actually remember the last dream I had before Monday night. No, last night. Last night was probably I dreamt it and then woke up, went to sleep again, continued the dream, did that 3 times,
Wow.
and I can still remember the dream now. It's not like it's something that faded. Obviously, details probably faded away, but
What was it
was
about?
fucking weird. It was I was at a construction site, and I'm like, "What the fuck's going on here?" The power, Josh, you would appreciate this. I was looking at all the power cables. I'm like, they're only like 200-300 mil down. What the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is way too shallow. So, and then I was like, what the fuck's this place is in like a commercial area in the city. And I'm like, what is this place? And they're like, oh, it's a dairy. I'm like, a dairy in the fucking middle of the city. And I was like, I found that weird. And then it was actually the main guy that I was with was Nick from Opposite Log. He was the main guy fucking running the show. And he was pissed off because everything was wrong. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know you had an attraction in that area. But okay.
No, it wasn't like that at all.
There's some mother issues in that. 'cause
Yeah.
He's craving milk.
Should we get into dream
So,
interpretation
yeah,
now, Josh?
We should. Well, there's definitely mother issues.
Yes.
Maybe he had too much tit as a kid.
Power lines buried,
ooh.
not sufficiently.
Maybe cable somewhere deep inside his body.
Like, I think cabling can often refer to brain signals. So maybe he's saying that his true feelings were not buried deep enough and they were towards the
There were
surface.
a lot
Oh.
of cables.
And then
so-
when the
Like
gentleman,
very girly.
potentially,
Okay.
this could be the transition story.
Fuck. No, good one.
Oh, we should get people to send us their dreams if we can
Dreams,
interpret them.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. That would
be fun.
Let's actually do that.
That's a good idea for a podcast.
I'm keen. Anyone that's keen to do that, send it in. Email, socials. Let's do it.
Don't make it up. Like, give us a legit dream.
How are we going to know?
Yes.
It's a free service we'll provide. We'll interpret it.
The prophet, Caleb.
Hey, look,
Look, for every prophecy, there needs to be 2 to 3 interpretations. So, hey, look, let's do it.
Oh, you give.
We could actually, that could be a thing. We don't know each other's interpretations and we give it.
Oh, imagine if we all came to the same conclusion.
That could be, that could be the
I feel like
prophecy.
this is how the internet and conspiracy theories work. I feel like eventually we're all going to be on the same page.
Oh, I don't think we should.
I like it.
I
I
probably
actually-
shouldn't do that. Probably
We
we'll
require
probably
people to actually
manifest
send us the
Antichrist somehow.
It'll start happening when people start sending. So
Send it, mate. Send in your dreams.
oh, it's good to be back.
It's good to be back again. It feels like returning from holidays every time we do a podcast at the moment. Really rusty, and then we get into the swing.
I like it.
Probably about time we wrap it up, though.
I think it is a wrap up time.
Yeah, I've got a kitty to get home to.
Okay.
The child you need to look after.
How many beers are you on?
It doesn't matter.
I'm on exactly 0 beers.
You on 4?
Yeah.
You had 4, didn't you?
Oh, I drank one before I got here. Anyway, this is super boring.
No, I want to
How
see
many
the
drinks
can.
I've had.
No, I just want to justify
Good
my
wrap up,
last
dudes.
can.
Far out.
Wrap up. Oh, who cares?
What are you asking me for?
Oh, because
Don't ask for the profit to
Is this
justify
so-
your cans,
is
man.
this so
I want to
you-
know if I'm going to get in an accident tonight.
We are both under the limit, Josh, so it's okay.
You'll be fun.
I'm a responsible adult, all right?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I've got a kitty these days.
Anyway, I'm going to start recording my dreams. And
Yes.
feel free,
Let's all
if
do
you've
it.
got to the end of this podcast, send us something. Or
All right, let's
let us know if you get that deja vu on steroids like I do. It's freaky.
do you get deja vu when you
His
have
name's
steroids?
Matt. Sorry, deja vu with steroids.
Okay. That's,
Yeah, I didn't know you taking steroids, but anyway.
that's an extremely obscure reference, Josh, that not even I got.
No, your menage a trois name's Matt. He's on steroids. Big fella. Big dick. Big dick. Huge dick.
Gotcha. I don't think so. Anyway, let's wrap this up because this is getting
Yeah.
extremely weird and rapey.
Thanks for listening to everything again.
I really like that word.
Yeah.
Menage a trois. And bougie.
Big dick.
That's, oh, there you go. That's my new little saying. Or that's bougie. All right?
You've been rolling that for a while.
No.
That's not that new.
No.
Riz, that's the new one.
I've never even heard of bougie up until like a day ago.
You didn't grow up bougie, let's be honest.
Oh.
This is
Very
roll with how you
bougie.
want to roll, Josh.
I'm very bougie.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed our drivel yet again. Catch you not next week, but sometime.
Sometimes.
In the
Not
future.
promising
We'll just
anything.
catch
Stay tuned. We'll surprise attack you with a new episode.
Say Frosty, my dude and dudettes.
Catch you.
Getcha.
He's too okay. G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses High Caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.